Alright, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 stocks that are going to be coming out with earnings within the next month or so, next few weeks, and talking about them, giving my opinions on them. They're going to be TTCF, Corsair, and basically UFC stocks, EDR, Endeavour Group, and we're going to be talking about those 3 specifically. One of them is reporting tomorrow, and it's going to be pretty interesting, so definitely make sure to watch till the end. Right before we get into it, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're actually getting there. We're really close. So if you guys can just do me a favor, subscribe. You can do it. You can unsubscribe anytime. It's absolutely free. So just click that button down below. That'll mean a lot. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this. The first stock, let's just go in order. I'm going to talk about TTCF now. This stock should be reporting in the next few weeks or so. I think towards the end of this month, if not the beginning of next month, just because it's a newer company and I guess they take longer to actually come out with all their financials. But TTCF here today came out with some pretty actually crazy news here today. So if you guys just look at the chart, like it was up as much as 8%. The chart doesn't show it, but I remember it being up as much as 6 to 8% here today, and it kind of came down because the Nasdaq fell. So you can see if we just go pull up the Nasdaq real quick, it literally went from here and the Nasdaq fell 1-2%. So obviously TTCF is listed on there. It fell as well, but that actually brings up a pretty crazy buying opportunity, especially if you can get with this news here today. If you can get it even at this low. Basically what happened was they spent 35 million in cash, which TTCF has over 150 million in cash. So 35 million is just a small piece of it, right? And what they did was they basically purchased the New Mexican food distributors and Carson Tortilla Factory. So what that means is they can pretty much now come out with products that are not only frozen foods or in that category, but also foods that are in like the snacks and even tortillas and stuff like that. So what they said is they not only gave us this information, which I think is a pretty good deal, right? 35 million in cash for basically you buying this company that was founded in 1987, New Mexico, and it's not that much money for what they told us later. 200, they said, okay, at full capacity, we believe this can contribute up to 200 million annually in the next 2 to 3 years. And they believe it's going to be significant value for stakeholders. That is incredible. This, I believe, was said by the CEO, Sam Galletti. That is insane. 200 million annual in revenue, with a deal that they literally just spent 35 million in cash on. That is crazy. They said later on, they actually said they are about 20% margins on their food, 20 to 25% gross margins in their outlook. So they raised their outlook. They not only gave us this information, but they also raised their outlook to 235 million to 242 million just this year. So if you look at the market cap of TTCF, they're about 1.4, 1.5. So they're about to do 235 just this year at the bottom, right? But let's say they even do 200 million in the next 2 to 3 years. You take 20% of that, that's 40 million in profit. So they just spent 35 million to get 20 to 40 million in profit in the next 2 to 3 years. That is incredible. So as a long-term shareholder, that shows how good they are at finding deals out there, and that is just amazing, man. I think that's gonna be really good for this company. And they also said I don't know where they said it, but they said they're gonna get into snacks. Here we go. We also plan to introduce snacks, so they're not only gonna be doing frozen foods, but also snacks, and this is gonna help them out a lot. So that is insane news. I actually bought shares today. I don't know how I got so lucky. I mean, I wasn't really trying to time anything, but I bought it at like 1760. And I mean, it's up till then. But if you guys even buy it at this point with this news that came out today, if you're a long-term shareholder, that's a really good news to come across. But the thing is, before their earnings, I think it's going to be really good. If you guys aren't in the stock yet and you are interested in it, there's a good chance it might run in earnings. So if you aren't in this stock yet, maybe consider opening a position like before earnings, because there's a chance either this earnings or next quarter it might go up pretty substantially, especially if Wall Street starts to understand the stock better. So yeah, let's just jump straight to the next stock, we are going to be talking about they just go to EDR UFC, right? They're up 10% today, and that is kind of crazy. So if a lot of people that actually were interested in this bought at 28, so I mean now you're actually positive if you bought it at IPO day, so that's pretty good. But yeah, if you guys didn't see my last video talking about UFC stock, basically I'm gonna make actually another video later today strictly on this because I think I have a little bit more to speak on it. But basically they own about 4 or 51% of UFC, right? And they own some other companies like I believe it's called Miss Universe and stuff like that. And according to Robinhood, and I believe stuff I found online, they should be announcing earnings around May 11, something like that. And I mean, they're pretty smart. I think this company that holds UFC's Endeavour, is pretty smart because they put Elon on board of directors, right? You guys know that. But I think during this earnings call, they might actually say some stuff that is pretty interesting, especially if they announce the buyback or the purchase of the rest of their stake in UFC, making it fully 100% ownership of UFC. I think that's going to be really good. I think the stock might run, in my opinion, if that happens. And if they do start talking about like Elon board of directors, if they think that Elon will do some stuff for the company, I mean, let's be honest, I don't really think he's going to have that big of contribution to their core business. But being on board of directors, they might actually come out with some stuff. I mean, they're pretty smart, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do start like kind of not exactly hyping the stock up, but giving some good news and some good outlooks out there, especially since stuff opens up and they can make a lot of revenue, because a lot of their business was kind of closed within the last year or so, right? So I think it might definitely have a chance to run. So if you guys are interested in this, especially for long term, maybe consider buy some. I haven't yet purchased this myself. I'm still fundamentally I'm still kind of waiting to see if they do, because there is a risk that the purchase might fall through and they might not be able to buy the full share of UFC. But yeah, I'm going to be talking more about the UFC later today in a video, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Next, we have Corsair Gaming. Now, this stock is actually announcing earnings tomorrow. I believe it even says right here, May 4 pre-market. So tomorrow, before the market open, they're going to release earnings. Now, the thing about this is that they are basically in the whole streaming space. And you guys know that streaming has absolutely exploded. So anything to do with like Twitch, YouTube streaming has exploded. I have the stats pulled up right here. A lot of people think that like October, November, December was prime. After that, stuff was opening up. Everything's opening up. The country's slowly opening. The world is slowly opening up. Not a lot of people are going to buy stuff and go on Twitch, but I mean, you couldn't be further from the truth. Look at these 2021 numbers. It actually beat the record numbers was January 21 for Twitch streaming, which is the biggest streaming platform. But basically the biggest thing you want to see is the channels in average. So if we look at month over month concurrent channel streaming, look at this: 122, 116, 115, 115, 120,000 channels streaming at once. And then last year, the last quarter, right? These 3 months, 100, 100, 120. So December was a pretty good month, right? Everyone's on Christmas break. That's very understandable. And I don't think April grew because of spring break or stuff like that. But nonetheless, man, look at this. It probably jumped 20%, 10 to 20% just in this last quarter in streaming numbers. Like the streaming game is growing really quick. And Corsair is basically, if you think streaming is going to do really well over the next few years or the next decade, like me, it's a no-brainer. This company is like a pure play on streaming and thinking that it's going to do really well. Obviously, they own a lot of gaming stuff. They own keyboards, right? If you look at what they have in stock, they have only 3 in stock, like in the store near me near LA. 3 in stock, 2 in stock at stores. And these are $200 keyboards. So, and then this one just came out. This one just came out. Brand new keyboard, already just 3 in stock. I believe they just released this like a few weeks ago. And then this is only 2 in stock as well. So a lot of these are selling quick. This one already has 43 reviews, 4.5 stars, which is pretty decent for a brand new product out there. That's, I guess, a bit different than other keyboards because it's so tiny. But even this one, man, it's already at pretty good reviews on Best Buy at least. And you can just see this all around. But one thing is, if you look at Logitech, now, Basically, Logitech reported earnings, and if Logitech does good, Corsair is gonna do good. They basically have the exact same like customer base, kind of. I would say Corsair is a bit more premium, but you guys can kind of see if Logitech does good, Corsair is definitely gonna do good, right? Now, Logitech here has so they reported earnings a few days ago. Like I think it was last week. Look at this. It dipped on earnings, but they reported really insane earnings, 116% year over year earnings. And yeah, it was just insane. I believe this was their Q4, which is actually Q1. And yeah, it was nuts. It was just really good earnings. So Corsair is gonna have really good earnings. That's like given, right? I can almost guarantee you Corsair will have really good earnings unless somehow they just don't. But if anything, I think Corsair is going to beat Logitech in earnings beat. I'm not going to lie. So we know Corsair is going to do really good. They're down about 1% today. Logitech isn't a US company, right? It's a Swiss kind of international company. So kind of their numbers are going to be a little bit lower. But if you look at their 4P, it's at a 4P of 25. So if this was a US company, I guess, this wasn't an international, I guess if this was just a US based company, this 4P would be at 30, 35. This stock would be a lot more expensive. Corsair is US based, right? They're literally a US company. Look at this. 4P of 20. They have more growth than Logitech. They not only have more growth, but I like their businesses a lot better. Elgato is insane in the streaming space. Logitech doesn't really have that. They have some webcams, but that's about it. And they not only are a cheaper company, but in my opinion, they demand a higher valuation just because they're a US based company and the way they're growing is a lot quicker than Logitech. You're telling me Logitech is going to grow more than Corsair when Logitech is how big? It's a $18-19 billion company. Corsair is only a $3 billion. So it would be physically impossible let's say Corsair gets to Logitech's numbers, right? In the future, they would have to grow 5 times, right? 5-6 times. If Logitech grows 6 times, they're $100-something billion company. That's highly unlikely, right? That might happen in the future, but for Logitech to be that big, I don't think it's possible with just hardware. You need software to get that big. So I think that definitely Corsair will outgrow them. So being at those numbers, even Yahoo Finance has them undervalued, and then Logitech not. So I think it's gonna be a lot better deal. Corsair is, and don't be surprised if this stock runs on earnings. So that's what I'm saying. Make sure you guys, if you don't have a position yet, consider looking into this company and making maybe buy some shares. If not, if it dips on earnings, I'm definitely gonna pick up some more shares. I think I picked up some more today. But if it dips on earnings, I might buy more. But if it goes up, I'll be okay with what I have, just because I've been building this position up quite a bit over the last few months or so. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to help me reach my goal, that'll be really appreciated. And I'll see you on my next video.